What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the stream. And, well, it's the trade deadline. I'm excited to shake up this roster and I'm going to dive right into it. But let's get you caught up on what has happened in the last couple weeks. So, we did have the All Star game go down, and I wanted to show you that we actually had more than the necessary one player make it. So one guy who made it was Scott Barlow. I wasn't necessarily surprised by that. He's been having a very good season. So no real shocker that he made it. When I saw his name pop up, I was like, yeah, of course he did. Another guy that made it though was Vinny Pasquantino. At the beginning of the season, this would be considered kind of a surprise, but when you look at his numbers on the year, I mean, the guy is just balling this year. So he's got that 2 WAR. I mean, just pristine strikeout rate. He's got a great base on ball percentage. This guy is very impressive. He's kind of blowing my mind right now, to be honest with you. I did not expect him to be such a huge part of this rebuild, but man, he's really proven himself early and often right now. And then the final All-Star we had was Bobby Witt. Now, not necessarily surprising that Bobby Witt was an All-Star because he's, that kind of stud. But what was kind of surprising is his numbers aren't outstanding. I mean, the slugging percentage is great, but other than that, I don't know if he was All-Star worthy, but hey, I'll take it. He's already up to that 86 overall, so we're getting him into that budding superstar. We just want to see him kind of pick up the stick a little bit better, specifically with taking those walks. The other thing I wanted to mention before we get into this trade deadline is we did lose Kyle Isbell for the season. He wasn't having the best of seasons, which is pretty prototypical for him. Definitely want to keep him around. I think he fits a nice kind of fourth outfielder mold with his defensive first profile, and he can swing the bat just a little bit. So, we'll kind of see what we get. Definitely not a long-term piece, but we'll see what we get out of him. And then let's see, anybody else I wanted to mention? No, everybody else has been pretty healthy for the most part. So, let's dive into this right now. So the first guy I'm going to be trading is the longtime Royal fan favorite stud catcher Salvador Perez. It's time. Salvi is having another solid season, although not outstanding by his standards, but still strong nonetheless. And there was quite a few catcher-needy teams. I know he's got 4 years left on that contract, which definitely makes the return a little bit more juicy for sure. It's just the right time. He's 32 years old. Trade him away to a team where he can be on a contender, and we can kind of maximize the value. Now is the time to do it before he starts kind of having regression start hitting him. It's probably going to start hitting him next year because of that service time, but even though he's only 32 years old. In addition to Salvador Perez, we are going to be sending Carlos Hernandez. And the reason for Carlos Hernandez is I needed one more player to get this trade to go over the top. And Carlos Hernandez kind of fits that mold of player that the team I'm trading to likes. And the team I'm trading with is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. And the player I'm getting from them is, I kind of went back and forth. I did like Shane Baz, but there's really no reason for them to trade Shane Baz right now. They're not really in the business of doing that. I also looked at Luis Patino, but I'm looking for a true starter, and his stamina is a little bit iffy. He also hasn't performed too great in his minimal time in the majors so far. So I instead kind of zoned in on Taj Bradley. A nice, strong, even across the board makeup there. Decent stamina at 78. I like his makeup with the fastball, cutter, curveball, and changeup. So lots to work with here. I really like that. And the reason where Carlos Hernandez kind of comes in here is the Rays are just like gods at taking these like has-been pitchers, turning them into relievers or swingmen, or turning relievers into starters. See Drew Rasmussen. So they're just like gods at doing this. And with only 26 years old, Carlos Hernandez is like exactly the type of pitcher that they go, oh man, the guy throws 97 miles an hour. Okay, we can work with that. So I think this is a pretty good get for the Rays because they definitely need some stability at the catcher position. And you see they're not getting a whole lot of production out of that position this season. And this is a trade that could really put them over the top in terms of being contenders in the American League. So, and I'm obviously very happy to get a picture of Taj Bradley's quality. Now, the next guy I'm going to be moving is I'm going to be moving on from Nicky Lopez. Again, he's giving me good defense. His average is okay, but I just can't handle that he doesn't walk enough. He doesn't hit for any power whatsoever. He does, I mean, great WAR, 2.2, but he's just a guy that I don't really want to keep around. So, in addition to him, I'm going to be sending our surprise starting pitcher, Ryan Yarbrough, who's had a very good season. You see the ERA, FIP, component ERA, all in great spots. He got a 2.2 WAR. Very surprised considering his makeup's not outstanding. But he's been having a good year, and I'm going to be sending this combination to the Baltimore Orioles, who are competing this year. They could use a fourth or fifth starters. That's where Yarbrough comes in. He could also pitch out of the bullpen and kind of help shore up that bullpen as well. And then Nicky Lopez specifically for them. Jorge Mateo's been awful this year, and they don't really have any production out of their young shortstop, Enjoy Ortiz. So they don't really have anybody holding it down at shortstop. So I know Lopez isn't like an outstanding hitter, but he's a great defender. So he Okay, I'm back. I just had to finish something there. So, yeah, Nicky Lopez really will help them shore up their shortstop position. And from the Orioles, what I'm going to be taking is I was looking for another pitcher, this time looking at lefty DL Hall. He's got pretty solid potential, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't taking too much from them. Stamina's not great, but he's got a great Ks per nine, a little bit concerning on the base on ball per nine numbers. But he's been having a pretty decent season down there at AAA, so I'm kind of excited about this kid. As you can see, we still got a little bit of the bar going towards the Orioles, so I'm just going to go and take somebody a little simple, nobody too crazy. I'm going to take Braylon Tavera, 18-year-old center fielder, 53 overall. Did look in on him. He's only 73 potential, so I'm not taking anything too crazy from them. Just a guy, kind of a speculative shot I'm taking on him. So I am pretty excited to snag those two guys from the Orioles as well. Okay, and the final big name I'm going to be moving is, of course, Scott Barlow. I told you when we first started I was going to move him this year because, I'm going to try to maximize his value. He's only going to have 1 year service time left after the season. He's one of the top relievers on the open market right now. So I wanted to make sure that I got as good a value for him as I could. I'm also going to be sending Amir Garrett because the team I'm sending him to does need a lefty reliever. And then I was going to send Chris Bubich as a just kind of a kicker deal, just to kind of sweeten the deal just a little bit. I didn't really have to, but just a little extra for who I'm getting. And I'm going to be sending them to the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners definitely need some bullpen help. Andres Munoz is obviously a stud in the closer role, but after that, it gets a little questionable in the bullpen. Specifically, their lefty is 67 overall. He's throwing really well, but I don't know how long that's going to be sustainable. So getting Amir Garrett to kind of stabilize that left-handed pitching role, plus getting another strong back end of the bullpen arm and Scott Barlow really help shore up this questionable bullpen. And then they get a lefty for some depth as well, who might be able to crack into their MLB roster if needed. And from the Mariners, I'm going to take a couple of B potential guys. That's why I wanted to make sure I was giving them a pretty good looking deal. I'm going to take Prelander Baroa, this 22-year-old flame-throwing closing pitcher out of the Dominican Republic. He's got B potential, 89 Ks per nine. This guy has had a filthy season. I might get him into the majors this season. We'll see how everything kind of shakes out. And then I've been looking for some outfield help, and I wasn't able to find a lot in the draft per se. So I'm going to go grab Gabriel Gonzalez. I like his makeup. Wish he hit for a little bit more power. I was kind of looking for a power bat, but overall this is a nice balanced across the board profile, and I'm pretty excited to acquire this. And you can see we even kind of have the bar favoring the Mariners a little bit, so I don't feel like I'm taking them for too much. Okay, we have one final trade to make, and it's going to be a simple one. I'm going to be sending Josh Taylor, who's been having a very good season. I did not really expect this. You see the FIP is 2.55 and a 2.12 component ERA, so this guy has been having a truly dominant season. And I'm going to be sending him to the Where are they? The Milwaukee Brewers. And from the Brewers, I'm going to be taking simply Jay Savina. 19-year-old right fielder, see potential, good pop in his bat. Already 62 overall at that 19 years old, so this is pretty interesting. It's pretty even trade. I have not looked in on Avina at all, so I'm actually going to go do that right now. To see what his potential is, because I'm wondering if I kind of got shortchanged on that a little bit. Okay, 73. So I might have gotten a little bit shortchanged, but I'm okay. I'm interested to see what this kid can turn out to be. So what I'm going to do actually right now is I'm going to pause the stream. I have to kind of shake out the roster a little bit, because what I want to do in the rest of this video is I want to finish and go show you the draft picks. I'm almost finished signing all of them. But what I need to do is I need to shake out this roster before I sim a couple days. So I'm going to pause. I'll cut up the video afterwards. And yeah, I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. That definitely took a lot longer than I expected. There was a lot of moving around to do. I had to sign a couple of guys. It basically screwed up my entire roster. One of the more impactful trade deadlines I've had in the past of making these videos. There was quite a lot of work to be done, but we are all settled now, and I'm excited to move forward. As you can see, we are now at the trade deadline. I don't have any more moves to make. I just want to go check out our draft picks. Now, I'm done looking at offers. They haven't been very good. Let me take a look at some of the guys that I have. So I got 2 guys left. Okay. I don't have a ton of bonus money left. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I sign Zarate. I'm going to give him the most I can give him. I don't know why I can't give him more than that. I have more to give. So, yeah. Okay, good. I do believe that Reyes will probably sign, but I'm going to give him everything I got left here. 285. Yeah, that's more than he wants. He's 60% interested. I think he's going to sign. Good. Okay, so we signed all of our class. A couple of guys definitely look to be pretty disappointing and aren't going to pan out, but, we'll see what happens. All right, so that is it. Let us sim one more day, and I think I should be able to, yeah, I should be able to see them after this. This is my first time going through this, so I don't know exactly the days. Oh, great. Love that. I'll have to fix that in a second. Ooh, Taylor Clark is back. Okay, so I got a lot more roster things to do, but let's check out the draft picks. All right. 86 potential with the 8th pick. So he's actually only going to be 82. Let's see what he throws. 94 miles an hour. Oh, that is an interesting makeup. I like it. The hits per 9 is a little bit lower than I'd like, but everything else is not bad. He's going to be a 68 overall with 84 potential. And 81 stamina. So, all right, I can work with this. Not a bad first-round pick. Let's check out some of the other first-round picks. Ooh, Ramon Marquez. Whoa. Probably should have did my homework on him, but I was really looking for a pitcher. Let's see some of the other pitchers. So, Lou Diaz. Okay, that's a pretty good one. But he does not have very high K per 9, which I see that as a big negative. Let's see, what are some of the other pitchers around here I could have drafted? Okay, not very good. Jeff Bone is 90. Oh, I could have drafted this guy. And he throws smoke. Ooh, that is a swing and a miss with our first draft. I mean, that's not the end of the world, but generational talent right here with the 95 potential. Gonna be only 60 overall, but wow, this guy. Oh, I was choosing between those guys and I chose wrong. That's unfortunate. That is truly unfortunate. Let's see, let's get through this really quickly, see if there's any other guys that were of interest. Bone was the only other guy who was really up there in terms of picking. This guy, Franco, pretty good. I don't remember looking at him. Oh, you know what? I passed on scouting him because it didn't have a very good case per 9. Turns out he actually does. Okay, so I'm going to look back at this draft and kind of kick myself a little bit because I missed out on some truly generational prospects. But you know what? That's okay. I think Brian Lucas can have a very good career. I'm kind of excited to see about him going forward. So it's not the end of the world. Oh, Robbie Lewis, only a 72 potential. Yeah, this class did not work out very well at all. He's going to be a 68 potential, unfortunately. Yep. Yeah, that's disappointing. This is not a very good class. I am gonna have some trouble drafting. Apparently, I used to be extremely good at drafting. I feel like everybody was with the old system, so I definitely have to kind of get on this learning curve a little bit. David Bonner, he's gonna be kind of a bust. 66 potential. Voila. He's only a 70 or 66 potential. Wasn't too surprised to see him be a bust. Wasn't expecting a ton out of Bonner. Did hope for a little bit more than 66 potential. Jose Zarate, 74 potential. This is okay, but 21 years old already, only 56 year overall. Not ideal. Will Carey was pretty bad. I saw this going as I was scouting him to sign him and signed him anyways. But so that wasn't a surprise in the end. And then Robert Reyes. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. Only one true prospect coming out of this draft class, so we're gonna have to nail our trades and get better at drafting. I think I have a strategy for next year that's going to end up being a lot more effective. So this, like I said, this is the first time I was playing with the system and trying it out. So you live and you learn. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to go make a couple of moves after some injuries here, and I think the next time I will see you, I haven't decided yet. I might play a player lock game with somebody. Let's see some pitchers that I could pitch with. I did bring in Angel Zerpa up. I could pitch with Zach Greinke for a farewell tour. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a farewell tour with Zach Greinke. But if I don't do that, I will see you guys at the end of the season as we kind of wrap everything up. Anyways, in the meantime, between time, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm gone. Deuces.